So we know that we're going to have big and high expectations for quarterfinal heat number 2 because two of the most talented surfers are in the water right now. Luana Silva taking on Carissa Moore. This is going to be exciting. World number 2 taking on world number 4. I feel like it's intriguing to me to see if she can go back-to-back as well. I just think that would be such a cool storyline. On the other hand, this lady looking for her first ever championship tour win. A little bit deep on that first one. You could see she was holding that inside position. Carissa, though, she's going to take the second wave of the set here. It's got a good looking wall. She tucks in, unfortunately, the line just a little too low there. So both of our women, just a slight mishap on that last pull in from Carissa Moore.
Yeah, so, I think that could be the line that had to be taken in that barrel, but we'll give that a look in just a second.
Luana, a little bit deep again here, so maybe needs a position change for Lulu. She does feel like it's going to hand priority over to Carissa Moore. It does.
You don't necessarily always, quality doesn't, the quality is so high, you don't need to be bringing that many pieces of equipment, but it's how you feel it, what makes you comfortable.
Priority with Carissa Moore. She gets to take this wave. Lulu really wanted it. This is the first turn of the quarterfinal. On the second, a little too much on her heels here. Both of these women, they're playing really competitively, but both of them not being able to capitalize on the decisions they're making in those split moments. To interview to whoever wins this heat, because this has been such a back and forth battle. What happened on this second turn here?
It almost looked like she sprung out of the bottom turn a little too quick, which then popped her turn into like a sort of air. And that transition, I think, put her on her heels, which ultimately led her to falling backwards. And yeah, that's interesting. You don't really see that mistake from Carissa on a turn like that very, very often. And I'm wondering if she a bottom curve or a tail rocker, and that can be a really hard job to do.
Carissa looking to get a proper score on the board here. Her best so far is currently a 2.5. What an interesting heat.
It's almost unimaginable where we are right now versus what we thought this heat was going to play out like.
Yeah, I am confused because there are still some really fun waves out there. Lulu, this one seems to have a nice wall in front of it. Let's see what she can get done here. Connects with that first section. You can see there's a slight wobble through that second part of the wave, and then it cleans up down on this inside. Beautiful looking hook. She's had that on lock all year, all season. She's dived into yet another carve here for Luana Silva. She's wearing the same swimmers that took her all the way to a second place finish on the Gold Coast. So maybe a little bit of good juju here. Comes into it with the finish. We have a fully completed wave right now. It's from Luana Silva. And obviously this is going to be the best wave of the heat so far.
Of a win, one wave at a time. I really love her style in the carves in the middle part of this wave. You can see that she starts to kind of find the rhythm. I think this is the beginning of it. And I like how she's able to look down the line when she engages the carve and then turn her whole body back to the pocket there. It creates a whip and a snap within each one of those maneuvers. And then variety comes to the wave face and then pokes some vertical turns. Yeah, like, hey, this is going to be a great start to this heat.
This heat has a fun-looking storyline playing through it. Let's see if Carissa Moore can get herself back into this heat right now. Just over 9 minutes to go. Good-looking wave in front of our 5-time world champ. Pushes hard on the tail, draws out a beautiful-looking roundhouse here from Carissa Moore. Opens up the wings, drives harder through that next pocket. Let's see what this inside track has on offer here for Carissa Moore. Starts to load up. This is this big finishing section, pushes, gets that tail loose and free. This has been such an interesting heat.
This wave is, it's interesting. The takeoff spot of this is well down the line from where we originally were taking off in this heat. Carissa readjusts after she grabbed that board, must have had some words from Luke. These turns, insane. She's making the most of this wave. This is that spot where it goes into the flat zone before your final end section, so she has to readjust and stays on the board now, knows she's got to do that kind of work, and that's a good wave, right? And we're going to clash that against Lulu's, but great adjustment by Carissa to see, hey, further down the line, there is opportunity for me to be putting turns and carves like this together on one wave, a much slower wave, right? We've seen a lot of racing around sections, and this is a great adjustment and wave selection for Carissa.
And to be fair, Lulu's 5.67, it was smart. She had to make that decision there because at 13 minutes to go, the highest wave score we had in this heat was a 2.5. So Lulu got herself herself a grip on the reins for this heat, but then that left Carissa out the back with priority, with choice of whatever wave.
No matter what kind of ride Carissa is going to get.
Riss is going to try and better this 2.5. She's taken off on one of these smaller inside ones here just to try and bank a couple of big turns. Hack to start off with for Carissa Moore. Into it, nice and vertical on that second one. This wave, it feels like it's slowly starting to taper through this inside track here. She's going to take it, continue to take it all the way through. Trips the fins up and over, not once, but twice. So she's trying to better a 2.5. She's absolutely done that. The beach loves it.
That's challenging to you in your heats. You have a fortitude to get the job done that is much stronger. You've been challenged, right? And so Carissa is going to make it about her surfing hair. She's not going to wait. She's going to give herself the opportunity to back her 8.0 up, knowing that that's going to make it very hard for Lulu. And she did a great job. This wave, she surfed up to its potential. All the while, I do want to keep my eyes on the wave behind it. And I would love to know why Lulu didn't choose to ride it. We can see it behind Carissa here. That would have been your best case scenario for Lulu. Knowing that Carissa went for the smaller one inside would have given her that emphasis to flip the script with the higher of the two waves in that exchange.
Curious about that as well, because here's Lulu on this one behind. She used priority, but again, for, I want to say, Carissa Moore, she's going to take it down the line. And with 5 seconds to go here, can Lulu find herself another wave? Unfortunately, the clock is going to run out, and Carissa Moore is into the semi-finals here at Punta Roca. She's looking so lively, and what a, oh, no way, pops an air rev on the inside, but what an interesting heat.
Testament of flexibility and overcoming a game plan that you have in the beginning of a heat, utilizing something that you didn't foresee happening. Like, you know, Carissa pulled in on that barrel, possibly buckled her board, and then unlocked a completely new strategy of moving further down the point and ended up getting two really good rides to close out a great heat.
Wow, so Carissa Moore moving through to the semi-finals. She's going to be taking on her current roomie, Gabby Bryan. So we have Elena here as well. This is such an honor to have both of you, but obviously Elena, she's your biggest fan. She's back in the yellow jersey that she clapped you into the win at. But that was a really interesting heat, Carissa. I mean, the start, it was obviously not what we thought was going to happen between the two of you.
Yeah, no, Olena, it was exciting, wasn't it? It was a bit nerve-wracking, to be honest. There wasn't much out there. It was really slow. And then Luana took a weird one, and I took a weird one. I ended up buckling my board all the way through the deck. And then it was a couple other small exchanges before I was able to get something that caused some separation.
And then you did. Obviously, we were talking about it. You give back so much to that next generation. You've been so invested in Lulu's career since she was so young. To have a heat against Lulu, especially in the quarterfinals, it was pretty cool to see, kind of almost like a full circle moment for you too.
Oh, I have so much respect for Luana, especially watching the start to her season. I told her it's really cool to see her find her groove and her rhythm, especially since, you know, there's been years where she's worked hard and she's come up just short, but she's finding her flow, and she's such a strong surfer that you can't take lightly.
Well, we know it's Elena's nap time, so we'll keep this one nice and short, but congratulations, good luck in the semis, and you enjoy your nap, Elena. Thank you.
Thank you.